Hansel and Gretel, the poor woodcutter's family. Once upon a time, a poor woodcutter lived in the forest with his wife and two children, Hansel and Gretel. As food became scarce, the stepmother suggested abandoning the children in the woods. The father initially refused, but in the end he reluctantly agreed. Hansel overheard his parents' conversation late at night. Determined to protect his sister, he secretly collected white pebbles and placed them in his pocket. The next morning, as they followed their parents into the deep forest, Hansel discreetly dropped the pebbles along the way to mark a trail. When their parents left them behind, the children followed the glowing pebbles under the moonlight and safely returned home. However, their parents abandoned them once more. This time, Hansel had no chance to collect pebbles, so he used breadcrumbs instead. Unfortunately, birds ate all the crumbs, leaving the siblings lost and wandering in the forest. Hungry and exhausted, Hansel and Gretel stumbled upon a house made of sweets deep in the woods. Overjoyed, they began eating the delicious treats. Suddenly, an old woman appeared and kindly invited them inside. Unbeknownst to them, she was an evil witch who lured children to her house to eat them. The witch locked Hansel in a cage and fed him daily, hoping to fatten him up. Meanwhile, she forced Gretel to do household chores. Clever Hansel tricked the nearsighted witch by showing her a chicken bone instead of his finger, making her believe he was still too skinny to eat. Growing impatient, the witch finally decided to eat Hansel. She ordered Gretel to heat a large cauldron. Thinking quickly, Gretel pretended not to know how and tricked the witch into leaning over the cauldron. Seizing the moment, Gretel pushed the witch into the boiling pot and locked the lid. The witch was consumed by the flames, and the children were free. Hansel and Gretel searched the witch's house and found treasures of gold and jewels. They returned home, where their father welcomed them with joy. Their stepmother had already passed away, and from then on the siblings lived happily with their father. Lessons from Hansel and Gretel's story. Wisdom and courage can help overcome hardships. Greed and evil deeds lead to a bad fate. Family bonds are important in times of difficulty.